Welcome to the Hampshire 1900 start for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 12th of February 1937. You can see the snow still on the ground simply because I actually ran out of time to play on to my normal starting time, which is after the snow. And the reason for that, and I suppose probably the best way to do this, is to say, as usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me a lot to think about. And if you've been following the channel recently, you'll be aware that I produced a short video where I talked about the latest community information release. This was the second one, and in that release was a challenge to harvest large amounts of crops using minimal workforce and on an island start. And what happened is I thought, well, I'm going to need an island start in this series because we've got to go to the Isle of Wight eventually. So I thought, oh well, I'll just look into it and see what's involved. And I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and about 3-4 hours later I suddenly realized that I didn't have any more time to do anything else. So that was a little bit dangerous, but one thing I will say is I did learn a lot about island starts, even if it didn't relate to that, and I will be able to put that knowledge to good use when I do move to the Isle of Wight. But that will be sometime in the future. Now, in this part, I want to do a number of things because I think it's time to do a bit more long-term planning, working out the road structure for Southsea. I'd also want to do some little bit of work related down to around Milford-on-Sea. But first, I've got a couple of things I need to do. First thing I want to do is show you that the prisons are starting to fill up a little bit. So I think out of that, I do need to plan another prison. And now the main reason we're starting in Warstock is the fact that I've got a bit of a problem. If I can find out where, here it is here. That's why we're starting here. And that is the fact that this liquid pumping station is not working. And to explain that, if I come up over here where this pipeline's meant to go, you will see that we are running out of bitumen. And in fact, we'll just let this game run fast so we can get out the snow as fast as possible. Yeah, and what I'm having to do is use fuel trucks to keep the bitumen going. And as far as I can tell, what seems to have happened is, if I can find the pumping station again, what's hidden in here, is that this pumping station, if I go underground, is it burnt down. And I think what's happened is that it's actually non-functional. So what I'm going to try and do is we're going to knock that down. Now if I go this way, I've already kind of tried it. See, it won't do that last bit of pipe. So what I'm going to do is we're going to remove that little bit of pipe. And it means that this will have to be demolished from this end. As you can see, this tank is full. So what we're going to do is start by demolishing the pipes here, and then eventually we'll probably demolish the pumping station. But I just want to be a little bit careful here. Yeah, so we're going to remove those pipes just to see, because I've got a feeling that this little bit of pipe here is not going to be, how can you put it, demolished and removed. And then what we'll do is remove the, work around this liquid pumping station to see if we can put a new one in, possibly somewhere around here. If I stop flapping around. So we've got power here. I could put one here. The problem's going to be is whether that will connect with the pipe work. That's the reason why I'm deleting the pipe work first, because we need to plan in the connections, because I'm pretty sure these pipelines are operating almost on the limit of what they can do, because the next pumping station is right up there. Anyway, that's so anyway, that's what's going on in this area. The other thing that's kind of dragging along very slowly at the moment is I've realised that I haven't put a university in this area, so we're putting another university in there. And while we're here, I'll just show you, scoot back over to here, just to show that there's no research in 1937 that we can do. So we've got that to do. My vehicle construction site here is pretty close. We've managed to get some wood produced. We've got clothes here, but the problem we've got at the moment is getting, I don't think I've got a workforce in here yet, because I think we are still building. No, this is built. Maybe it's here. No. Okay, why don't we have a workforce? Oh, yeah, we got. Is it too far away? It's saying that these pedestrian underpasses. Oh, I thought I had the distance here. I admit I've had a few glitchy problems. Let's see if you can. Yeah, we're going to need this. I'm going to push the priority up on this. Yeah, we can allow citizens in. I think I've got a few over 21s. Not many, but yeah, we're going to have to put in another here. The other thing I need to consider is we've got to get some more workers out here. Now what we've got going here is we've got the brick factory is now operational with a minimal workforce. We've got a small amount, we're actually producing power here. So we've now got power stability. Now eventually I will reverse the power line connection here. Let me just see, just want to check. All related vehicles. Yeah, we got our guy here. What I want to do is we're going to get some more what we call it thingies in here, because I don't think I've got any more. I'm going to buy some more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and then we're going to launch this guy. Because if we go back to the station over here, what we will show you, well, this is here, we've got maximum of 35, we've only got 8. We're going to need a lot more to get the workforce into here to drive the coal, which is going to produce this area here. Now, this is the area I want to work on. You can see what we've got our first road in here, because I want to start planning the road network down into Southsea, but I've got a few key decisions I need to make related to this area here, but so we're going to come back to that. Now if we go over to Eastleigh's just trudging along, but again, if you watch the previous part, you'll be aware that we've now got a roller. Let's see where our roller actually is. He's up here at the moment, rolling in this section. Oh no, he's actually, oh, I've done that one. Wow, okay game. That means, so we've now got an asphalt road that comes all the way out through to here. So the next big project I want to do is I want to get this asphalted. Because this is all going to be part of the kind of grand road network, partly because we can use it, and partly because this is the M27 for anyone where it goes. So we're going to come in here and we're going to join all this up into one long run so we can get out to here. Eventually we will put an intersection here as well. Just make sure now, just make sure it's being picked up. Yep. We're also building out this way, so he's asphalting this way, because we very soon now we will be expanding Southampton. We just got a little bit, still got some more hazardous waste to get rid of here. And the idea is to start building up Southampton as a kind of location that we can work with. The other thing, we've now got our ground crew here. What I'm going to do is we're going to copy everything over to here. Although, oops, we've got no mech components assigned. This is Crawley Building Society. I think we've got surpluses of we got a few mech components and a few electrical components, I think. These guys, I'm going to steal the covered holes, so they don't need them. But what we'll do is we will get these guys here. See, at the moment we're not going to be building that much in Eastleigh, so I think we can get away with that. I don't want a workforce in here, and what I do want to do is steal some of the vehicles from here. Yeah, we're gonna steal the Russo bolts. Gonna steal the cement worker, concrete workers. There's another one in here somewhere. Because what I want to do is make this into virtually a pure, what we call it, a pure, road crew. Sorry, brain faded a little bit there. We got, I think, what I might do is we got a lot of these. I think we're going to steal one of these as well. Get that into here as well. Game run. We're going to need a couple of cupboard holes. I don't want them excessively kind of there. We'll get a couple of yards. We're going to need some excavators. We've got this one here, this one here. This one's 21, but I think that's looks a bit cumbersome. Okay, I think the research we just done is for vaccinations. One thing I do need to do is we're not going to do roads and footpaths. We'll leave battery connections for the moment. We've got no fuel in here either, so that's not good. Let me just see, where's my... This is our fuel guys. Okay, we've maxed out our fuel. Too many criminals. Okay, what's this? What's going on here? Oh well, that's just because we've probably got a few people just moved in. We are now got our horse feed worker converting, and I need to kind of let in a few workers here. And what we're going to do here is build a roller, because what I want is to start asphalting out here. While we're here, we'll just have a quick look at, are these connected? Okay, these are still being connected. Let me just, where's these guys? Okay, these are allocated. That's good. Yeah, I want to start a process of asphalting the main roads at the moment. Let's just, while we're here, we'll just check very, very carefully, see if we've actually removed. Okay, let's see, this one's... Okay, actually, something else I want to just check as well. so much going on in the game now. It kind of drives you a little bit crazy. Oh, cool. Looks like our incinerator's under repair. Oh, all related vehicles. Okay, these guys are coming to repair that. And because what I'm working towards is this. So we're now getting pure ash here. So we got that tidied up. And then we're going to scoot back to here. We've still got some metal scrap in here. Let me just check something. Okay, traffic jam. Okay. Oh well. Yeah, this is becoming a bit of a problem. I think we can keep going. I think the problem is it's the hazardous waste that's coming up from there. Anyway, we're going to get to here. In fact, I think what we'll do is actually, can I put, because we do need you. Let's just have a quick look here. Yeah, we do need the concrete guys working on those. I suppose this ground crew can scrounge around for fuel at the moment. We will sort out a proper fuel place here. And what have we got here? We got a couple of cupboard holes. It was excavators I was looking at, wasn't it? What have we got here? We've got the YAG 15, that's 18, that's faster, the ammo, this one's even a little bit, no, I think we're gonna get a couple of those, we just need one dumper, nothing particularly special, that's 22 kilometers an hour, I think we're get a Russell bolt. Now the next question is road crane over tower crane. I think we'll get road cranes at the moment. So game word, just see road crane please. I don't really want to commit to tower cranes just at the moment because I'm not convinced that they're. We got a YAG there, we got this one here, we got this thing. That's 18, this is 21. It's slower than this, but we'll get a couple of those in as well, and then that would be it for the moment. It says it can't produce concrete, but I think that's down to the fact that we've got a workforce issue here. I really do need to sort that out. But there's not much I can do about it at the moment because it's mainly down to the speed of the vehicles. Because we got, we don't have as much workforce as I thought I had, but then we got a lot more pushing out. I do need. I'm reluctant to kind of grow easily. Anyway, the next thing I want to do is we've got fuel in here. What I'd like to do, and we've got liquid fertilizer here. What I want to do here is, I think it's time to see if we can ship the liquid fertilizer down to Warstock. How far out can we go? I know I can't do it in one go. Is pipeline too long? So we're looking at, well, we've got to put a tank in here. Question is, where can we put the tank? We can put the tank there, but then we would need a pumping station to fill the tank up. The reason I want to put a tank here is simply down to the fact that this needs to know that there's fuel to pick up. So Let me just see. I think we're going to have to do it like that, aren't we? Which is going to be a little bit cumbersome, but we're going to have to do that. Put a pipe like that. Then we're going to have to put a road connections there. How far can we? Now we're going to have to run this pipeline building in the way. How far? Okay, so we're going to have to put a pumping station there. Say about there. And then what we'll need to do is you're going to have to go deep. You're going to have to connect up to there. So just double check my connections. I'm not doing very well with connections at the moment. So what this will do is open up the opportunity to be able to ship liquid fertilizer down to Warstock over here. So because we got this tank here, which I need to set for liquid fertilizer, and then that means that we'll be close to our farms here. On the way through, caution, we're working on it slowly. It's just while we're here, just see what we've got here. Okay, oh, we got no fabric. Okay. Who delivers fabric? Oh, that's a bit of a failure, isn't it? Let me just find. Let me just get over to here. Who delivers fabric to the? I think it's it. Horse veterinarian. Okay, we're just gonna. We don't need that much in the way of fabric. I think what I might do. Let me just see. Have I got fabric in here? Yeah, we're gonna. I'll set you to 0. Yeah, so we've got 7 tons. I think the amount of fabric that's going to be used is really, really tiny. For example, if I show you here, you can see we're going to use 0.005 tons of fabric. So we'll get that going. We had any deliveries here? It's going to take a little while to get. Okay, we've got 2 more deliveries here, which is going to increase our workforce in this area. That's good. We got this brick area here. Let me just check again. Where am I? This place is getting way too big. So let me just put in the. I think we put in. I'm gonna put an underground pipe in here. We put you incredibly close there. Okay, that's still that one. Okay, they're still being deconstructed. Anyway, I've put it in anyway. Otherwise, the alternative is going to be is we're going to have to try and knock this down. But I don't think that this will be demolished. We bump the priority on these. See if we can get rid of them. Actually, I was just going to remove that. I just had another idea, so I want to keep my options open. Okay. Right. The other thing is that our prison is slowly filling up. So what I want to do is we got some unemployment over here. I say we're going to leave the ground crew. We got a little bit of unemployment over here, so in this area, I think it's this. We got some unemployment here. So what we're going to do, it's just a normal annoying message I get. So what we're going to do is we're going to build another historic prison in this area. Just so that we can just give us a little bit of us long-term insurance against problems. Yeah, I think this will do. If we can tuck you on this corner here, just here. So we're gonna just drop you in there. And of course, what that will, by putting a prison in each of the three population centres, that spreads the risk of crime. And I haven't looked at crime for a little while, so you can see the crime is under control in this area. We're just go and have a quick look in Eastleigh. We can check the court at the same time. So 1-2% is good or reasonable. Okay, the courthouse is building up a little bit, but it's nothing to worry about just at the moment. But it's an indicator that we may need to think a little bit about another courthouse. I mean, we are running at nearly just over 19,000. But at the moment, the limitation is good. We can check the police stations have got everything under control. And if we got a little bit of a hot spot here with 3%. That's because we've got unemployment. Okay. We're going to need to keep an eye on that, but beyond that, we should be okay. I know I'm getting a bit obsessive. Okay, so it looks like I was just being a little bit preemptive. Right, so let me just see if I can get in the... I'm going to put in the underground pumping station. I'm going to flip it that way so we can get this as close to the road as possible. See, the problem's going to be if I try and put it in here, we may have a problem with the road connection. But also I want to try this first and see if it will work, because it might say that it's okay. We've got a connection there and a connection there, but what it means is we're going to have to bring the road out and back like this way. I know it's a bit cumbersome. And then we'll set you to be demolished. And then we're going to bump the priorities on these. I can't build that though, but we can build high priority. Where's my road crew? Because I don't think these guys are really... where are you? Where are we? Let's go above ground. I'll get you built there. What we will do is put this guy on it as well. And I think we will get them working on that as well. And hopefully we will get this reconnected, so that means that I can stop messing about with fuel coming into here, which would be really, really good. Anyway, so the crime rate is generally okay. building without water, but when productivity is not, of course it's going to take a little while for the fabric guys to get here. Right, so back over to here. We get rid of the crime rate here. We've now got our historic prison lined up. We've got this here. My main concern at the moment also is that we may not have the trucks to bring in here. So what I want to do here is we're going to put a distribution office in. We're going to put in a 10 slot distribution office here. It may not put you there, put you there, and the idea is going to be is that because at the moment we've got plenty of crops in here, but if we look at the fertility, it's 150, 150. So the fertility is not too bad at the moment, and we are getting a nice steady supply of food and alcohol here. The other thing it says here, we got this thing for meat. So what I want to do now is we're going to put in a couple of hunting huts. Hunting. Put one just here if we could. I'm going to put these don't really need gravel roads, and I'll put another one just there. And another one just there. Now what we are going to need is some kind of meat store. So let's have a look at the meat store. Got the old cold storage here. Okay, we're gonna have to use this thingy here. Where can we put the meat store? I think if we put the meat store here, that will fit quite nicely. So the idea is going to be is we're going to build a couple of these. We're going to put some trucks in and here, which will provide the food and alcohol to these, which will allow us to produce meat. And what that will do is make us completely self-sufficient, because I'll show you this year we exported a little bit of food, and I think that's from hotel. Let me just make sure that all our hotels are now running from this area here. This is Watford shop delivery main. Yep, main. So I've gone back to the original configuration for the moment, because I think with 10 vehicles we've got the ability, and that's delivering the meat, and I'm pretty sure these guys are, yeah. Okay, we've got one guy here. Do we have any space in here? Okay. What we're going to do is put you onto there. Yeah, 50%. It's time to get rid of this freelancing truck. Where are you? Where are you, matey? Okay, you've still got a ton of meat in there, so okay, we're just going to have to keep an eye on you for the moment, and then eventually we'll get rid of you. So that's it. Oh, that reminds me, seeing that what I want to do is, I can't remember if I actually put one in or planned one. No. What I want to do here is put in a pollution monitor. The reason I want to put a pollution monitor in is the fact that we don't know what's going to creep in from this area. So I want to put this on the edge of town here. It only needs the mud footpath. It's not important, but I do want to monitor what's coming in here. Building on fire, war stock. Okay. Oh, it's the garbage dump burning down. Isn't that a surprise? Oh, where's the fire crew? There they are. Yep. Right. Now, while we're here, apologies that I'm running all over the map, but things are occurring to me as we go. What I want to do now is look at getting the road down into Southsea. Now, I've been thinking a little bit about this area, and I'm not happy about having ports here. So what I'm thinking is that we can put some ports here, because that would be nice and close to where we're going to produce clothes. And so what I'm thinking is we're going to create a port area here, which we're going to need to do exports. Now, I've got a bit of a dilemma at the moment, in the sense that we are waiting on, let me just see, concrete track, which is 1942, which is roughly 5 years away. So I don't really want to lay any more of this wooden track unless I have to, because we're going to end up ripping it up and upgrading it. So my strategy is going to be to leave the track as much as possible, so that we can do it. But maybe, but at the same time, I want to build the road in. So yeah, I think we're going to kind of reserve this for Portsmouth and Southsea. In fact, it might be Portsmouth, because then we can bring the kind of the tram line over to here. So we'll build Portsmouth in here. And another reason for that is that I'm really starting to think of this area for producing some electronics. And what we'll do, actually, yeah, if we kind of come in here, then we can have the residential town here. Actually, if we put the residential town about there, we can have the way that Southsea operates at the moment is we can have the tourist area there. So what I want to do is we're going to extend this road that way, and I think we will push it to create a kind of main road through like that. Maybe trim it back a little bit. And what this will be is the main road into this area where we will be able to put this stuff in. But what we are going to need to do is think about how we're actually going to deliver the food and everything else to this area. So we're going to have to need to put some form of warehousing down here. And that's what comes down to building a port over here. So we could build a port here, and at the same time use it to supply the food, all the essentials to here. So for example, we could put a port in about here. We can put a medium cargo harbour here, say for example. Yeah, if we put a medium cargo harbour there. Take the road out here for the moment. We can put in a large warehouse. We just put in the, again, it's the size of the warehouses aren't as big as I would like. We could put in a warehouse like that with a track coming in. Well, no excavator. Okay, I can take the hint gate. Anyway, you've got the idea. We'll just accept the road. So the idea is we will have there, we will put an open store on this side, and then that will allow us to export or import stuff from the Isle of Wight. So we will keep this. We will build our town in here, and we will probably put in a, let me just put this in as a marker as well. If it will put in, what we'll probably do is medium. We'll put a medium passenger harbour there. And then what that means is that we can reserve this area for light industry as well. In fact, we could probably put even more industry in this area. Yep. And so what that will mean is that we will have the, yeah, well, we can do that there, and we can bring tourists in by ship, although it's a bit of a distance. But alternatively, we could put a station in close to here, and we could bring tourists in by rail. So that would be another option. Let me just kind of go back to, now the next area I want to kind of work on is out here, because what I want to do, and we're gonna need to expand the workforce out of here. So I just want to do a bit of measuring. Assume that the edge of town is going to be, ooh, this is going to be, how far, Leamington's water there, right. What I want ideally, again, there's so many blind alleyways at the moment with respect to what I want to do, because what I'd like to do is bring, well, this doesn't, I don't think this produces much in the way, the amount of pollution this produces is negligible, isn't it? So what I want to do is get the beginnings of a construction industry going here. We got this lovely patch of gravel, which will give us almost 100%, yeah, 75, 85, 71%. I think what we can do is we can plan, yeah, we got 99% there. Not that, okay, so we put only got 94% there. What we will do is we got the road there, and we'll just run this road straight out to this guy here, and we're going to run kind of a link like that. Actually, no, we'll keep it simple. We don't need that just at the moment. We're going to build a road out to here, and then we've obviously, because of the 800 range, if we come to the next step in the gravel, what I'm looking to do is build a really major, this is 9.3, but this is pretty horrible. Let me just go to mods, get rid of view, gravel. This is 12 tons. So now the trouble is I don't want to get in the way. Actually, let's just plan. So we've got gravel pickup there, and we know that we've got coal in this area. Let me just put down some coal mines. Fossil fuels. Right, we got we got coal over here, which we can, that's 63%. All right, let's see if we can get the max. Oh, we've got 90% coal there. Flip that way. 91%, 99%. Right, we got 91% there. Now these are going to be just markers at 74%. Let me just put you there. I think that's going to be a bit shaky. And you're going to be, we've got 75, 70, 77. Looks like the best we're going to get here is 77%. So we're going to get 3 coal mines in this. I don't think I can do any. Okay, we're going to have to do some. Just get rid of you. This is Rochdale. Rochdale's in the north of England, sunshine. It's not here. Okay, so that's going down. We need to bring it up. Right, so we're going to need to. Anyway, I'll do that off camera, guys. So we've got 3 big coal mines here. Now we are going to produce coal here, and we are also going to produce steel. The problem is that a steel mill will be very, very polluting, and this is kind of a bit an area. So we may have to push the steel mill up this way, which means that if we have a steel mill here, we're going to have to worry about the workforce. That brings this area into play. Right, which means we need to bring this railway line into play now as well. So I think we'll get rid of the road. Just get rid of the road. It's pretty useless anyway. The person who did the map got a little bit aesthetic. Right. Our first priority is got to be the rail line coming in from here. I'm not going to connect it. Well, we've got no rail construction here anyway, so we can just plan it with wooden track with a view to just upgrading it before we even build it. We're going to have to come in this way. There's no value in going that way. Right, what we're going to need to do is come out that far, come in like that. Actually, no. This will be. Now, this is going to be a very important station. So, what we're going to need to do. Actually, I'm going to keep it going out straight because it's just going to make life a little bit easier here. If we come out there, just measure this area here. That gives us a like 240. Go out a bit further, like that. Oops. And then we'll bring this line off here. About that far, merge you into there, push you out straight like that, and then get rid of that, connect it there, and then what we will do is put a crossover there. What that will mean is that trains coming in here and come to this crossover point here. In fact, I think what I might do is we're going to run out this way, because I say this could be a really significant crossing point here, or not crossing point, actual, just get rid of you there. So this would be the outbound line, And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come there, run 100 and a couple of 100 meters like that, and then we're come out there, run, that's 190, so probably want to go a little bit further out this way. And what I'm doing here is building a queuing area for trains that want to by doing this, it means that we've got the possibility of 3 trains in here, 2 waiting, and if we got more trains than that, then we've got a bit of a long-term problem. And then what we can do is start to curve this track out like that. I don't know why I keep pausing the game. And now we've got that track there. My instinct is where we got a distribution office we planned there. We are going to need to run a railway into here. So we got the distribution office there, that links there. Let me just measure again, cancel you. We're going to need, so we can run off connector here. Just cancel that. We'll run you round to here. I know I said earlier that I wasn't going to plan on doing this, but we can run this area into here. What we can do then is come off about there. Try and keep you relatively close to the track. We need we've got to kind of bring this track back in like that. I'm trying to keep the area fairly tightly wound, and we've kind of got to come back in onto this track about there, like that. And then what we got here, I think to keep this simple, we'll bring you off there, curve you back. We'll ignore the mud roads, we can work around those. Oops. Yeah, I think we'll just trim that back a little bit there. We'll put a line you there, and then what we will need to do is just measure up here. So if we go to about there where that little tree is there, this is going to be quite an important junction. So and then if we run you there in like that, and then curve you Don't need this road, so oops. Get rid of the road. Then what we could do is put a bridge over this area here, and right, we need to run up here, maybe a little bit further, just to keep this track really open like that. What this does is it gives us the option to come into our coal producing area here, and we can build in quite a rail network here. It will allow us to take out what we need from here in the way of coal to ship to. We'll probably have our steel industry out about here, so it's well away from all the horrible thing. We can start a new town here so that we can kind of run a kind of an industrial brother to Milford-on-Sea. It also means that we can then open up more possibility for farming over here. Yeah, I think that will work. So we're going to go to there. We're going to accept all that lot. I'm going to go this way. I'm aware that I'm running out of time, so just make sure we've got everything. That's the crossover there. That's the connection there. We can better take those out. That out. This out. This out. I mean, this is super long-range planning, but I wanted to. I kind of got drawn in on this simply because it's going to be very important. There we are. We've got a potential problem here. Get that there. Wood base. Okay, that's nice and tidy. Yep. So we've now got that area there. We've got a functioning distribution office, which will give us control over this area, and we've got that there. And I'm trying to run out of time on the video, so what I'm going to do is we'll just have a quick run round and see how things are going down here. All right, we've got got the ground crew working on this area here, with respect to, so eventually yeah, we got the ground crew working on here. Missing resources, concrete. I think what we might do is get a couple more concrete mixers. What we got here: 3 tons, 3 tons, 1 tons, 5 tons. It's by capacity. I think we can. That's 42. That's 22. I think maybe we can get a couple of those in, just to speed the process up on that ground crew. How are we doing down here? Okay, what I will do is, technically we've still got this little link here, so I want to asphalt in that road. And the other thing I was planning on doing, I will do it now because I keep on thinking about it and then I keep on forgetting about it, is that I think it's time to set up this as a proper one-way system now, because this will speed up the traffic a little bit. Well, not much at the moment because the traffic here doesn't go very fast, but what this will do is that by doing this, it reduces the decisions that the game's got to make with respect to how things and how vehicles are going to go. Because if the game knows that nothing's going to come up this way and turn into kind of come in and turn around and go over there, the game will, when it's planning its routes, will be a little bit more going. Okay, there's a bit of road there that's missing. Actually, we don't really need that. We can just put that in there. You got a little bit there that's too small for vehicles, so I'm just going to get this built in here, because this has been going on a long time and it does need to be pushed forward a bit. Okay, so we've got the new ground crew here. What we will do is get you working on that as well. Okay, these guys are still new resources, concrete. Okay, these are still working on the ground side of it. Just check here. Yeah, waiting for concrete. Hopefully fairly soon we will be able to get this put together. And this is a final check over here. Actually, how are we doing for over 21s? None at the moment. How are we doing here? Yeah, that's being built. That's being built. See, if you look at that, this bit sticks out, but this is kind of causing confusion. I think what we will do is we've got a bit of a gravel problem here, so what we will do is tell the road crew to, I think you've got spare gravel delivery capability. Oh, we got footpaths down there that are not finished. Okay, so where is it? Where's these guys? These guys aren't doing a lot at the moment. These need to be built. This needs to be built. I think what we will do is prop those guys up. We've got university here. That it's a medical university. Why did I put a medical university in here? Although, to be honest, it's never going to really need to do the research. This is more, okay, well, put the vaccine development on there. I'd like to keep the vaccine going. Okay, we can keep these guys doing this stuff again. I think I'll give a little bit of a boost for the, because I need these workers out here. And okay, we're up to 15 now. That means we should be getting more and more workers out to here. Not as many as I would like. That's full. The brick factory is going. I think we might need to think a little bit about water, but the questions are going to be where we're going to put it in there. We've got the fire coverage. We do need to sort out the waste, but that will be the subject of the next part. I think we're going to need to start thinking about waste disposal. Oh, that needs to be built. Okay. Let me just get. Don't think these guys are overly. Where is it? I want to break through here because we do need to build the road systems here. Plus I want to get to this power substation, even if we don't connect it up to begin with, so that I can lay the track through. And on that note, I know this is going to, apologies, this is going to be a long outro. What are you guys? Okay, you're not doing anything. Probably because this is a little bit out of range. We might as well lay the track into here and get this built, because this is all going to be fairly standardized anyway. And then yeah, we'll get this built in. I don't think we're ever going to be upgrading this because it's all small junctions. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.